Oh, I think Nordic has maybe come at it a little bit fast. Oh dear. That is going to be quite the maritime insurance job. Whoopsie. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Kinlaig. This is the multiplayer co-op adventure with Nordic farming, and we have reached episode number 4. It's a rather sunny November in Kinlaig, but the months don't matter so much because we have seasons off. But we are starting where we finished off last time at the fish breeding. We've come down again this morning to drop off another 4 boxes of fish food, which we have filled up into this fish breeding tent, or building I guess you could call it. And yes, we have some lovely fish that have been made. Now these are young fish. I think the colour coding is grey for the salmon. Yep, young salmon, 2,000 pieces. And the blue boxes are the trout, the young trout, again 2,000 pieces. So these boxes we can now take to either a land-based lake or a sea-based aquaculture to grow these fish into large fish, which we could then sell for money. So yeah, that is the purpose of the fishing aspect of the Fishing and Highlands pack on FS25. Now yes, we did have a little look last time, but here are the fish swimming away happily. And yeah, one thing I did notice is we seem to be able to walk on water like Jesus. And yeah, seems to be some Kinlaig magic going on there, which is quite peculiar. But nonetheless, Nordic and I have got some more jobs that we need to do this morning. And that is starting off at the store, actually, where we are going to buy a sprayer. Let's get fired up. Check we've got Nordic. We have indeed. So we can head off because we have got some spraying to do. Yep, our crops that we drilled and planted not long ago have germinated, and a couple of the fields have got weeds in, and that means we need to do some spraying of herbicide, and some of the fields also need their secondary level of fertilisation. We did do a manual spread of solid fertiliser, and that was using the same spreader that we spread lime with previously. So yeah, it's got a primary level of fertiliser, but we need to apply the secondary level. Now it has germinated because we've gone forward a month. So purchasing a sprayer is the first job this morning. And then we've not forgotten that the silage in the bunker is fermented. So we need to get the highland cows fed, as I'm sure they've got a little bit bored of grazing on the meadow. Right, going for the overtake. Oh yes, he's done him. Over the bridge, and I think the kilted pistons is just here on the left. Yes, here it is, coming at it from the other direction this morning. Right, oh, that viaduct does look absolutely lovely in the morning sunshine. Wow, look at that. That is the same viaduct that I believe appears in Harry Potter. Right, Nordic, we have got a sprayer to purchase. Now for sprayers, Nordic and I are going for the Kverland Ixter, I think it's called, B18, and it costs 26,500, can take 1,800 litres, but it does have a front tank we can put on as well, 18 metres width, so yeah, I think this is going to serve us very well. Excellent, Nordic has made the purchase, so we will head around to the back. And one thing that we are going to be trying is a particular process and new mod for applying fertiliser and herbicide at the same time. It is usually a separate job, but there is a mod that has come out for herbicide and fertiliser mixing. There we go. We had a front weight attached, so we just needed to detach it. Completely forgot about that, but there we go. We can pick up the front tank, and then for sprayer, I'm going to come around this side and pick this up. But yes, when you have a 2-tank system, it allows you to put fertilizer in one and herbicide in the other, and spray appropriate levels of herbicide and fertilizer at the same time, which is a bit of a job saving, really. So that is something that Nordic and I are going to try out. Hopefully it works as expected. But yeah, we'll head back to the farm. But the first job isn't actually going to be spraying, it is going to be loading up the silage for our highland cows. As mentioned, I think they're getting a little bit bored of the grass meadow and want something a bit richer to eat in the form of silage. Here they are. Here are beautiful highland cows. Look forward to feeding them. Right, here we go. We'll find a suitable spot to drop off the sprayer. I'm thinking we'll probably drop it in this yard here for maximum space. So let's just lower that tank and drop it off. And lower the rear tank and sprayer boom and drop that off. There we go, and we can park up the MOG back in its usual spot. Turn the beacons off and turn the headlights off. I did have to put the headlights on because it was a little bit dim this morning. Fantastic. Right, Nordic is going to jump in the New Holland. He's going to grab the bunning trailer to take the silage. We are going to hop in the JCB, which is the only tractor that has a front loader that we currently have in our tractor and equipment inventory. Now, the front loader is in the equipment shed. Now, one thing I will note is this JCB actually has a very, very poor turning circle. It turns like a ship, a cruise liner. It's very, very wide in its turning span, which does not make it easy for a, UK-based smaller farm, which is quite interesting. But let's nip in here and we can grab the front loader and the bucket that we have got. That's a bristle and blade bucket, which is always pretty handy. Right, there we go. We'll line up quite nicely with the quickie front loader attacher. Grab the bucket, raise it up. I think we'll probably need a rear weight for safety. Right, here is the weight. I probably should have grabbed that first, just for ease, but never mind. Right, weight attached. We can get the bunker opened up, and I think we'll probably do maybe 2 trailer loads. Depends how much the cows take, but yeah, we will see what they have got. Nordic is going to open it up for us. Give him a friendly toot. Fantastic. Right, open it away, Nordic. Awesome. Right, yeah, he's looking at that. I think we've got about 110,000 litres, if my memory serves me well. So let's grab. Fantastic. This bucket can take about 3,000 litres, I think. Although it's not filling 100%. Don't know why. But yeah, we'll let Nordic just pull forward and we can unload into the trailer. Here he is, coming back, and he has unloaded the silage into the Highland cow pasture, or feeding area, and it is full, with 30% or thereabouts remaining in the bunning trailer. So we're going to see if we can dump the remainder silage back into the bunker. I'm going to have to move the JCB, because yeah, that's in the way. Silly me. But yeah, we'll see. Oh, Nordic's doing some good reversing there. Oh, I think he's just scratched the corner of the bunning trailer there. Never mind. But yeah, that means that we're not obviously going to get a turn to deposit into the Highland cow pen, and nor is Nordic going to get a chance to do some loading, but I'm sure we will again at some point soon. I think what we might do is just keep the JCB in this shed. Right, with that parked up, we can leave it there. Nordic is just depositing that silage here because he can't actually dump it back in the bunker, but that's fine. We can use this when we next want to load up the cows. So that is the cows nicely fed. We'll go check in on them, shall we? Oh yes, here we go. Cows, they look very happy. You can see a big wedge of silage here in this feeding trough. Oh, that one's having a nice little jump around. They are very playful, these cows. Now, taking a closer look, I think the ones without horns are the young, and the ones with horns are obviously the elder. So that's quite a nice mix, and it seems to be the younger, smaller ones that are jumping around, so I think they've got a thing or two to learn from mum and dad. Right, Nordic has picked up the little JCB because I have forgotten we are using this JCB for the spraying, as it's the only tractor that allows narrow tyres. So Nordic is going to drop off the bucket and front loader. The sprayer is over here, so he can get loaded up with the herbicide and fertiliser. As we discussed, we're going to be spraying both at once. We'll hop back in the MOG so we can follow him where he is going to be working. Right, it's got the sprayer and the front tank, so we'll go load up from the pallet storage. Whilst Nordic is loading up, just checking on the sheep and lambs. They look good, and food levels looking pretty decent, so I think we're alright for now. Ah, yes, there we go. He's filling up. Awesome. Right, let's hop in the MOG, and we can crack on. Alright, on the way, Nordic is stopping at the workshop to equip narrow tyres, as we don't want to damage the field. Narrow tyres fitted, we can follow on to the fields. We'll just be watching on, and then we'll switch halfway through. Sprayer off, and we can fold away. And I was keeping tabs on how much we had in stock, and I just run out of fertilizer at the end of that row there, so it's not going to be worth me sort of going back to fetch any more fertiliser just to cover off that little patch. But one thing I did notice is there didn't seem to be weeds in that field. So we sprayed herbicide, but there weren't any active weeds as such. And of course there weren't any weeds in the cornfield, which Nordic sprayed, the one that was already ploughed and didn't have a crop in, which we harvested. So yeah, I guess the herbicide on those two fields was a bit preventative, but you would have seen that the onion field is nicely sprayed up, and we can see the weeds have been destroyed there, which is pretty good. But there we go, we can get the sprayer parked up. It's on to grass work this afternoon, because the grass field, which we mowed up previously, is ready to mow again. I'm just wondering if we're going to have any space in this shed. No, I don't think we are. I'm wondering if this could just exist around here, potentially alongside the pallet station. Just unload the excess herbicide. Right, change of plans. We'll drop the sprayer into the shed where the spreader is. What I think we'll do is try and maintain the drive-through that we have for the spreader and the header trailer. That's quite handy. We'll just drop this in the back of the shed over here. There we go. We can drop that front tank off there and reverse out of here. Watch out for the combine. Fantastic. Right, so for grass work, I think it's our turn to do the mowing. Nordic will be doing the windrowing or the merging, and then we'll need to do the forage wagoning and put that in the bunker next to the one where we have got some silage, and that will give us a nice stock of silage, maybe, if we've got excess, because yeah, the Highland cows haven't taken too much. We could probably look to take some to the BGA or something. Right, so it's on to mowing, so in the New Holland we go. Oh, absolutely love this idling engine sound. But let's go grab the mower. We can't just listen to the New Holland purring away all day. The mower is back here. We've got a front mower and a rear single-sided wing mower. There we go. Nordic has got the MOG and the merger already set up. That is awesome. Alright, so we're all good to go. So we head off to the field that is through the little forest track. Get that mown up, and Nordic will be doing the windrowing. There we go. We can fold away and head back to the yard. That is the mowing all nicely done. And Nordic has done the merging or the windrowing. He did complain that there was a bit of a squeaky belt on the merger that was making a bit of a noise. Oh, he was waiting for me to get out of the way there because he's got a couple of rows left to do. So what we'll do is we'll drop the mower back, and then he will come back to the yard, and I think we'll use the mog to grab the forage wagon to collect up the grass, because we can both get in that. And yeah, I think it's my turn to do the driving this time. So yeah, we'll get that nicely collected up and put back into the bunker. And once we're done with that grass work, we have got some fish to go and collect, because we are going to be taking some of our young fish that have grown in the fish breeding yard or shed, and we are going to take them to a fish pond that we're going to build here at the Kinlaig farm. We'll call this Kinlaig farm. I don't think it really has a name as such. And also there is a aquaculture station out in the sea, the Kinlaig Bay, I guess you would say as well. So yeah, we are going to take some fish by boat over to that aquaculture, which will be interesting. But here we go, we can drop the mower off. We'll just lower it down and drop it off. Fantastic. Right, we'll get out of Nordic's way, park up the New Holland, and then we'll come and jump in the Unimog. Just can't get over the sound of this fantastic tractor. Right, we are here, Nordic, ready and waiting. Oh, he's in the passenger seat. I think he's got his flask out with his tea, ready for us to do the driving. So it's on to collecting up the grass, getting it in the bunker, and I don't know if we'll compact it and cover it up today, because we've got some silage already brewed. But yeah, let's get this nicely picked up, and then it's on to some fish work. Right, there we go. We have picked up the little bits of scrappage. I'm not going to pick up everything just because it does waste a fair amount of fuel just going around to collect all the scraps. It's really not necessary because we'll get them when we next mow and windrow, or they'll just rot down and go towards the next wave of grass. But this is the 5th load, and it's fairly full actually, 83%. So yeah, I think we've done maybe a little bit better with the grass yield than we did the first cut, which yeah, is good news. And I've been unloading into the bunker next to the one that has got silage in. I've been trying to keep it as neat and as far to the back as possible, stacking it up. Very similar to how we have got the silage sort of stacked up right at the back in the first bunk. But I'll dump this load off here, and we're probably going to leave the compacting to later. As mentioned, we've got some other things we need to be doing today around fishes. So now we've backed up enough, we can just unload this. And a trick to sort of filling up the bunk, I find, is you pull back and unload until it stops unloading and can't do any more. Then you pull a little bit forward, and yeah, just wait until it can't do any more. But yeah, it's managed to do everything there, so that's good. It is now empty, and that looks like a nicely stocked bunker. And of course we've only filled it about 1/5 of its capacity, but yeah, in case we were to maybe keep that open and wait until our corn has grown and forage harvest and put the chaff in there as well, just gives us that option as to whether we want to fill it with more or just compact it as it is and try and make use of the silage. As mentioned, we've obviously got the highland cows which consume the silage, but maybe, just maybe, it would be a good idea for us to see about taking some silage to the local BGA. Might be something we have to investigate. Alright, let's get this dropped off. There we go. Don't want to go too far back, might hit the wall. Okay, so next we're going to focus on some fish activities. We have got to grab the fish from the fish breeders and take it to a land-based lake and also a sea-based aquaculture. The land-based one can only take trout, and the sea-based one can take both salmon and trout. And Nordic's cousins have agreed that we can build a lake right here. So that is what we are going to look to do. We'll probably get out the JCB with the front loader and start doing some digging. But yeah, let's build a lake, Nordic. And there it is. We have pushed some dirt around and managed to fill it with water, and here we have a little land-based lake. Now it is not deep. I think I could probably wade in. There you go. It's only shallow, and it actually merges with the natural bank that is up here. So yeah, there's actually a little bit of a flat bit here, which yeah, might be good for the fish. They could maybe get some frogs in there as well. You never know. But yes, we want to go and get some of our trout so we can put them in here, and then this is going to be a place for them to grow into larger fish. Right, Nordic, let's head off to the fish breeders and we can grab the small fish, bring the trout here, maybe a couple of boxes here, and then we'll take the other trout and the salmon to the aquaculture at the sea. Right, there we go. We have picked up the salmon and the trout. We are going over to the sea-based aquaculture. I think it is over there somewhere, although I can't quite see it. Nordic has lifted up the ramp. We are away. Set sail. There we go. All the ropes have been detached. And yeah, I'm glad Nordic is driving the boat because he's obviously experienced. He got us to Kinlaig after all when we woke up on the boat. And we thought that the MOG could fit on the boat, so why not just drive it on? And yeah, we can unload directly from the MOG. I'll keep everything strapped up for now until we arrive at the aquaculture. But yeah, should be over in the distance somewhere. Actually, I think I can see the green netting that is there, plus a little bit of something sticking out of the water. So that must be it. Here it is, Nordic. I can see it. Right, he's slowing down, making turns, using some of the bow and stern propulsion to maneuver us into position. I'm just kind of being a watchman and making sure that we are doing the right thing. Right, ramp is lowering. I think that is because we are going to be needing this crane to unload the fish onto this platform. This is where the young fish will go. And once we've got them unloaded, we can go and see them in the aquaculture. Oh, I think Nordic has maybe come at it a little bit fast. Oh dear. That is going to be quite the maritime insurance job. Whoopsie. Nordic gingerly re-approaching there. Oh. Right, we have drifted a little bit. I think Nordic is going to just watch the controls and get us closer if we need to. But we need to unlash this Unimog. Let's see how this works, shall we? We can start the engine. We can unfold the crane. There we go. And then hopefully it is the standard crane operating procedure. Let's see. Oh, it looks like this can extend quite far out, which is pretty cool. Now, of course, we could just hand pick these over to the loading bay, but it's nice to give the crane a good old go. Right, let's see. Oh, I seem to be controlling the ramp, which is interesting. Let me see. There we go. That's better. Right. Lower down. And I need to... I am way off. It is very difficult to see the angle. So... yeah. Probably need to stop talking. Ooh, what is this? Can I... no, don't want to lash that up. What is the key for picking up? Mount pallet to crane. Okay, there we go. Excellent. Right, we have got a pallet. So we can lift this up. Oh, this is one of our trouts that we will put over there. Fantastic. Look at this. Right, I'm going to concentrate and get lots of trout and the rest of the salmon unloaded here. There we go. Well, that was all right. We can stop the engine, I think, of the boat and the crane. And yeah, managed to get the swing of it after all. Nordic is kindly strapping up the 2 boxes of trout left over. We are going to be taking that to the land-based lake. Nordic has done the jump over to the Aquaculture. And yeah, here it is. So it is basically a sea-based platform. I don't know if this part actually floats. It looks pretty stationary, so I think it does. And it's got a jetty off to the side. I think that's where the adult fish get boxed up when they are ready, so we can come along with the boat and pick them up using the crane, or we could just manually lift them up using our Scottish oats for breakfast. Strength, of course. And then over here we have got 2 tanks which either float or just rest in the water. Nordic has climbed up onto the net. It's got a strong net, and yeah, we can see it's just a big circular area with a sort of platform that runs all the way around it. And if we jump up and take a look, we can see our fish in there. Wow, fantastic. Obviously ropes and buoys around it just to sort of protect it and warn some of the fishermen and other boaters around it that it is here. Now that spout is obviously encouraging the fish to swim around and obviously give them some good food whilst doing so. So they're building up some muscle tone and building up some good mass to become adult fish. Absolutely the same over on this side. I don't know if we've got trout in one and salmon in the other. But yeah, let's have a look at what this is going to do for us, Nordic. So in the offshore aquaculture, we can do a couple of different recipes. We've got 2 for each type of fish. So we've got salmon and then salmon fish food and trout fish food. So you can load fish food into the aquaculture, and what that does is it seems to boost the amount of fish that you can get out of the aquaculture as an output. We are probably just going to use the standard one, so we'll activate the salmon. That is going to turn 36 young salmon into 26 older salmon. So yeah, it seems like we're actually losing some there. It's going to run 120 cycles per month, costs us $192. And yeah, we should get some adult salmon out of that. So I guess the benefit of the fish food is adding some additional mass, and meaning that you don't sort of lose as much adult salmon to young salmon ratio. It's exactly the same for the trout, so we'll get that standard recipe activated. We've got more salmon than we do trout, because obviously we're splitting the trout between the aquaculture and the land-based lake back at the farm. Right, just pulled the boat alongside the jetty just to test if when it comes to picking up the adult fish we can moor alongside, which we can absolutely do. My turn to do some driving in the boat, so let's hop in, start up the engine. I think I best... can I raise up the ramp? Yes I can. There we go. Right. So let's accelerate forward, and we want to try and push off from the jetty if we can. I think there's a bit of friction because we are butted up against the jetty here. Alright, got up to 11 knots. Just going to sound the horn, let other boats and fishermen know that we are coming. We want to land on that jetty to the left. So let's start our little approach. There's a nice bow wave at the front. Now I think the trick is with this boat is if you completely cut power, you lose all steering. So what we want to do is just really tickle the throttle and line ourselves up for disembarking. Now I've maybe been a little bit silly because we have got some rather big pontoony bits on the front there, so we're not going to be able to unload. So what we'll have to do is try and do a little turning maneuver, which I will try and accomplish now. This can turn quite well. It is quite maneuverable for a boat, he says. So let's see if we can do a little 180 here and line up the ramp perfectly with the jetty. Full reverse, turn the other way to stabilize our position. There we go, cut power. Excellent, so I think we should be able to hopefully lower the ramp. Can we drive off? That is the question. Hopefully we should be able to. There we go. Right, let's just completely kill the engines now, and we will hop in with Nordic. Fantastic. Right, I think that was a pretty successful parking, considering I was aiming for the end of the jetty, and I realised there were bollards there, and then had to switch plan. That's pretty neat parking. I think I'm going to give myself a 9 out of 10 for that, considering it was our first real attempt at mooring up the boat. There's a bit of a lip there, but nothing the Mog can't handle. Right, it's back to the farm, and we can get these leftover trout into our man-made lake. Alright, we made it back to the farm and the lake. Nordic has unstrapped our trout, so I think you can take one box, Nordic, and I'll take the other. Right, let's lift these off. Obviously not as technological as the aquaculture in the sea. It is rather primitive in comparison. But here we go, we have dropped off our trout. I think Nordic has dropped off his box of trout as well. And we can see... where are the signs of the fishes? Have they... oh, are they all hiding? Are they scared? So, very similar situation in the fish lake to the aquaculture. It's only trout, but we could do trout or trout fish food. We haven't got any fish food, so we are just going to activate this recipe. And that is going to turn 12 young trout into 8 adult trout. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Well, still can't see the young trout swimming away in the fish lake. Maybe we'll only see them when they become adults. And yeah, perhaps because they're so small and young, they're just hiding in some of the weeds at the bottom. But there we go, that is it for today. Hope you have enjoyed watching. If you have, remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Check out Nordic's channel for his perspective of today's session. And as always, if you've got any tips, tricks, or things you'd like us to do, feel free to leave a comment. All that's left to say is I hope to see you again next time on Kinlaig, and until then, catch you later. Cheers all, bye bye.